feast your eyes on this classic Triumph T100C trophy. This is a absolutely stunning 1970 model. It's all original. If you watch our channel and you know anything about me, you know my first real street bike was the street version of this, which was the Daytona, Triumph Daytona 100. Had a 1972 500 Daytona. The major difference between the Daytona and the trophy is that Daytona had the low slung exhaust for street use, and it had twin amyl concentric carburetors instead of the single that this one has. This one's set for off-road use. This is a stock original 53-year-old exhaust system with the original factory heat shield, which almost looks almost looks like a homemade device, but that's exactly what they came from the factory. Original paint, original everything on this bike. This bike's all original. The owner sadly had recently passed away, and his wife called me and asked me to purchase his bikes. Of course, I bought all of his motorcycles, his two Ironheads, the Triumph, and a Honda. But this particular bike was a hallmark, the pinnacle of twin-cylinder development for Triumph. It was originally designed and implemented in 1937 in the Triumph Speed Twin, and this same exact engine design they ran until 1973, where it was finally discontinued and Triumph was close to going out of business for the first time. But I'm going to ride this bike too, so stay tuned. I'm going to run this thing the way it's meant to be ridden. I'm going to take it up the road, and I'm going to get to hear this thing really sing through this twin exhaust. But this basic engine design, in 1937, the first one had a separate gearbox. This was the Munich construction where they made it smaller and lighter, and the heads are the same and the crank is the same, but the transmission was modified and much more modern and better in this final revision. And this, again, 1970, they only made this a 73, so this was near the end. It's a very unique design. It has a which was copied extensively by all the British manufacturers and later the Japanese. If you look at this crankcase, it's actually split vertically down the middle. You can see it right here, split vertically down the middle. That means that the cases come apart in two halves like this, right? And it has one crankshaft with two rods, and they're both at the same spot on the crank, so they go up and down simultaneously. The thing is, they fire independently, so the left side fires, it goes 360 degrees, and the right side fires. So it's a very durable, robust construction that was capable of doing very high RPMs. On the Daytona model, these things, they would rev these to the moon. The reason they called it Daytona, because they won the Daytona 500. And guys, this jacket right here, take a look at this jacket. This is a Gary Nixon licensed. This isn't some Chinese replica. This is an actual original one from back in the day, by Gary Nixon. And you can see on here the championship, 1967 Grand National Championship, 1968 Grand National Championship in the Daytona 200, and he won that on bikes very similar to this. Back in the day, they would run these on TT racing, which is almost like a figure eight with a jump in the middle. And they ran them on flat track, which was an oval flat track, and they ran these in road racing, the same frame. They would only change the gearing, maybe the factory teams might do a little on the engine, but most of the privateers would run the same bike with different tires and different gearing. But very capable, world championship winning motorcycle, and that Triumph had great success with. And as I mentioned, BSA, Norton, Velichet, Royal Enfield all copied this same basic design. And later, via Kawasaki and Yamaha with the XS650, that was the first bike I ever took a loan on, was a 77 XS650 when I was 17 years old, which is a very similar design to these. They're easy to work on. They're very lightweight. This engine would work in enduros like the Blackwater 100. I'm talking extreme off-road enduros where this bike would excel. This is an original matching numbers motorcycle with the original factory paint. If you look closely, you can see this was a hand-painted pinstripe. Has the original badges, the original gas cap. Everything on this bike is original. There's no components that have been swapped out. It has 8,791 miles. If you've been following the market, the collector market has gotten a little bit crazy in the last few years, and this being a highly desirable model, one sold at Mcqueen in this year in 2023 for $34,000. Quite a few other examples sold at Mcqueen in the $12,000 range and a little higher. The particular one that sold for $34,000 was a 67, 3 years older than this, but basically the same. So if you're looking for an investment quality classic that's easy to work on, fun to ride, easy to maintain, and that's certainly going to go up in value, well, your ship just came in. This is original, right down to the original shocks on the bike. It does have some newer tires on it, and it has a new battery in it. The bike has just been completely serviced. If you look closely, you can see it has a brand new air filter on it. It's got the carb's been completely cleaned inside and out and rebuilt. The fuel lines and fuel filters have been replaced. It's got fresh oil in it. Inside of the tank is super clean. The gentleman who passed away, his Ironhead Sportster just sold today, and the other ones on the bench downstairs are just doing some final touches on it. But take a look inside this tank. Look inside. I don't know. Is that going to pick it up? Look yeah, deep, like straight in there. There you go. Hopefully the camera picks up. The inside of the tank is super clean. Inside and outside, this thing's a dime piece. So if you're looking for an original, you know, a lot of people, you see these restored, it could be lipstick on a pig. You don't know what that bike's been through. It's been totaled. It's not a matching numbers bike. You know, what's the history of it? This is a rare, original matching numbers classic in outstanding condition. Flapping of the gums. Let's take this bad boy for a ride. And like I said, I'm going to show you how these things run. It's a cold start. This thing's stone cold, and it's tuned to perfection. Like I said, the original owner really took all of his bikes were outstanding mechanically and cosmetically. This one being a dime. Turn the key all the way on. Oh, rookie mistake. Hey, they like to be tickled, but they don't like to be choked. Just an absolutely stunning machine. It handles amazingly well. Everything on this bike, the brakes, the transmission, the clutch, electrical, everything works 100% exactly as it did when brand new, which is pretty remarkable for a 50-year-old motorcycle. To find any motorcycle 50 years old in mint original condition is remarkable, but to find an off-road, a Triumph that was built for off-road use, in this kind of condition is absolutely remarkable. If you wanted to make it a show bike, there's a couple things you could do. You could maybe replace the seat cover. I would not mess with the paint job on the tank. Maybe a little detailing and polishing, but that's about it, man. She's ready to go. And if you want to buy this bike, we can ship it anywhere in the country for you. If you need financing on it, we can help you out with financing. I'd be happy to leave this in the museum on display. So if you have any questions, give me a call, 860-454-7024. And again, the owner passed away this year, recently. This was a forever bike. This was not a bike he was ever intending on selling. 8,793 miles, one of the lowest mileage original. If you Google or go on YouTube and punch in Kaplan and Triumph 500, you'll see how many of these we've had. This is one of, if not the nicest, original, unrestored mint originals, which always hold the best value for sure. Like I said, once they're restored, you don't know, is the mileage correct? You know, if the engine cases and frame serial numbers don't match, you don't know what you've got. This is the real deal. Bid high and bid off, and you're not going to find a nicer one. Thanks for watching. God bless America, and God bless England and Britain for such kick-ass vintage classics like this.